Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Fat Tire e-bikes and the advantages and disadvantages. I have three topics I want to discuss today. One starting with my own personal experience, and then we'll go into the rest of them, okay? And I think the misconception when you're coming from a road tire to a fat tire system is that tire is going to be really hard to push, or you might think that's going to be harder to control, etc. So whenever I was searching around, I was like, man, do I want to get the e-bike with the skinny tires? That's what I'm used to, or do I want the fat tires? That's kind of the question, because a lot of e-bikes nowadays have the fat tires, right? So what have I learned about the Fat Tire e-bike? I have learned that the fat tire on the e-bike does not really, you don't feel it. Now, there is a difference in the lean and everything on the e-bike with a fat tire, but it's not like, okay guy. It's not that the fat tire makes it harder or anything. It's just a different lean. You're gonna have to kind of adjust a little bit, but honestly, it just takes like a few rides to get used to the fat tire part of it. Now, there are advantages to the Fat Tire e-bike, right? This kind of goes into point number two. Point number one is just kind of saying you're not going to have to work harder for the Fat Tire e-bike, especially with a motor. The motor is going to take up all that slack of the fat tire being harder to push. Let's wait for this green light here. We'll get going. When you're looking around, there is an advantage. I'm probably sure that maybe the skinnier tires on the skinny tired e-bike can get a little more mileage because there's less resistance. That I could see. But with the Fat Tire e-bikes in a city like Dallas, we have some pretty rough roads. There's good roads and rough roads out here. So to make sure that you're ready for all the different kinds of roads, I think the Fat Tire e-bike is worth the purchase, because it honestly, I've ridden motorcycles. It really is similar, the cushion, to like a motorcycle. It's not quite as good because I don't have a full suspension, but the absorbance is so much better than, say, my road bike with no suspension. My hybrid bike, I should say, it's not really a road bike. My hybrid bike is much rougher. So that being said, when you're looking at the fat tires, I would try to go to a shop and see if you can test ride a bike, right? Ask them if you can test ride it and kind of get a feel for maybe a Fat Tire e-bike and a skinny tired e-bike, more like a road tire, and see which one works for you. Now, if your town has more of a maintained road system opposed to mine, you might just go straight for the road bike tire. It might be something you're more familiar with, might be more comfortable, but I can tell you from experience, like that rough part right there on the road we're riding on literally right now, on a regular bike, you're gonna be feeling that in your scrotum, you will. So I have come personally to love the Fat Tire e-bike. I don't know if I'll buy a different bike with a little bit skinnier of a tire. I think the only thing that I would change is like maybe going a step skinnier and putting on like more of like a mountain bike tire thickness. I think that would be pretty comfortable as well. Yeah, so if you pull into Tyler Station here, ta-da, you can see this was the old train station. And you have like a boutique for men. You have trading card games. Jerry Spencer, I don't know what that is. That's recycled clothing. Two owner, not sure what that is. Head shop. Bunch of different businesses. There's also artists inside who make their work here. So pretty cool place if you ever want to come and check it out. There's a barber over here. There's a bakery here, and a brewery at the end, a really big brewery. Yeah, so I wish I could show you all the bike shop, but I'll bring y'all back another day. So let's just do a little neighborhood riding today. I'm a little past delivery time for Uber or DoorDash, so we'll just talk today. So yeah, I just wanted to like kind of go over, because like I remember whenever I was first researching, and all the experience that I had was a hybrid bike or like a road bike size tires. My biggest thing was like, these tires are going to be so uncomfortable, and I can't really vouch for the Fat Tire bike without a motor, right? I can't really vouch for that, but I can vouch for it with a motor, and I can tell you it's very comfortable. These houses, these are pretty cool. I bet these houses right here are $400,000 to $500,000. Tell me that ain't a ripoff. Okay. What do you guys think of these new Mustang rear ends? Y'all like the Mustang rear end? Comment in the comment section. I think it's okay, but I don't know if I like how squinted the taillights are. All right. Yeah, so as you're looking around, I think my best advice would be to go to a bike shop that has e-bikes and just test it for yourself. Now, I think that if you're in a rough city as in the roads are rough, if you're in a bit of a rough road part of town, I would maybe just go straight for the big tire e-bikes. They're not like, you also might be thinking, okay, well, if I get a Fat Tire e-bike, it's gonna be expensive to replace the tires. They're really not that expensive, guys. And the only replacement I had to do after, I have about almost 1,300 miles on this bike. My knobs on my tires are getting a little worn out, but I've only had to replace the tube because I got a thorn. But just put some, just be sure to put some reinforcement in your tube to help with the thorns and whatnot. It's really a pretty simple topic. I think that the Fat Tire e-bike side of thing is relatively new, and I think it's just kind of foreign to a bike rider that's used to just pedal biking, street tires, etc. So I can definitely understand the feeling, and I can relate to it, of just wanting to stick with the regular tire e-bikes. Now, there are conversion kits, guys. There are conversion kits. I kind of want to get a cheap bike for the channel and get one of these conversion kits a little bit later on, maybe when I have a little more subscribers, and show you some of these systems, because they have two different kinds of motors, right? You have your hub systems. The hub system goes in that back tire or front tire. There's different kinds. And that hub motor just sits right in the middle of the tire, and that motor makes the bike go. Of course, like you get the battery, goes to a controller, and it goes to either your hub motor, or they have a mid-drive system, right? The mid-drive, I've heard, is better. This one I'm riding on has a hub motor, but instead of the mid-drive, instead of the motor being on the back tire, it goes to the, like, where you're pedaling. So that motor works within your pedal system. So whenever you're trying to decide which conversion kit to get, if you get the mid-drive, you can pretty much put whatever tire on the back, whatever rim on the back, but with a hub motor, you're kind of limited to using that system for the rim, right? So keep that in mind if you're trying to do conversion kits on a bike that's already just a pedal bike and you want to make it an e-bike. And if there's different like battery options and whatnot nowadays, they have some that just go in the triangle of the bike frame, and they have some that can go on the rear rack. There's all different kinds. So I definitely want to visit that. Let me know in the comments what type of motor you would want to see me convert a regular bike to. So I think that would be pretty fun to have the comparison. Just cruising along here. As you can see, I'm on a main road, or it's not main, but it's 35 miles an hour, and I'm going 26. keeping up okay. This is all throttle right now. Signal over here. But yeah, guys, as you can see, it's a great commuter. This bike is the KW26. It's a pretty entry-level bike. So I have a link in the description to get this bike on Amazon. I think this one right now is only like $750 if I'm correct. So be sure to use my link if you want to buy this one, and I can vouch for it. I can tell you I have put almost 1,300 miles. I'll probably be at 1,300 by the end of this ride. And the only issue I had on it was my light. The light on the front, I guess, had so much rattling and whatnot that it eventually, like, the metal broke, and then I had to take the light off because it was just dangling too much. But the light that comes on it has a horn. So if you get rid of the light, you don't have a horn anymore. And that's kind of a disadvantage. You know, you're not going to be able to like be loud. And the light itself, though, on the KW26 is very bright. I remember having it for a little while, and I did a few night rides on it, and that light is very bright. It's almost like as bright as a regular motorcycle light. So that's, of course, good visibility. And this bike also does have a rear light on it, and it's quite bright. So like, if you don't have the lights on, it's just going to be off when you ride. But when you hit the brakes, it does flash and then hold red when you're braking. So that's, of course, a good feature, and it makes you a little bit more visible. So this is mode 4, guys. I'm 280 pounds, and I'm getting to about 30 miles an hour, 29 miles an hour. And this is just great commuting speed. So if you wanted to get this bike to just get, 10 miles to work, 5 miles to work, I don't see why you would have a car. Maybe if you want to just keep a car for your long trips that you're going to be taking and then ride this, because you're going to be saving a lot of miles on your car if you switch between the two. So that's definitely an advantage.
If you guys made it this far into the video, comment down below Fatty, Fatty, so I know you watched the video all the way through. I'm going to sign this video out. I forgot to do it on the audio on this ride, but I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe for more content on e-bikes and other biking accessories as a big guy. I'll see you guys in the next one.